always helpful when proposing something to give an idea to the listener of what it looks like in real life and in real time. In this interview, David and Ela tell us what the life of Jesus Christ in your home looks like in day-to-day events. The chapter is Courtship Never Ends. I want to ask you both, what role does your faith in Jesus Christ play in the idea of courtship? And what does it look like on the ground running?
We grow together spiritually, and each of us, even despite being married, your relationship with Christ is still unique to you. It's a walk that only you can walk. However, you can walk alongside another person, helping them as well. Ultimately, when the end of days comes, you'll have to stand before the Father, and you'll have to give your own account. Mm-hmm. But we are meant to live in community with our brothers and sisters, and especially our spouses. And so we basically, my wife and I, we do a devotional session each morning before we start the day. We read a bit of the Bible, and we are able to grow each other. There are things I can learn from her, there's things she can learn from me.
I can't help feeling that what we do in our jobs is actually going to have a spiritual impact as well. Do you find that what you live during your day can actually enhance your relationship together, spiritually speaking?
I would say that the job that I do is it can be quite, there's a lot of things that you have to balance physically, emotionally, when you see people in their most vulnerable state. It makes you think when you come home, sometimes there are some situations where it could be bothering me at work, like, something tragic I've seen at work, something like that. And when I come home, I just, praise and thank, like if it's someone's husband that has happened to, I just praise and thank the Lord that, I'm like, that my husband is still here, that he's, I can look after him. And sometimes there are some emotions that you just, it's hard to process it at work, but when you come at home, it's the best time that I can just be vulnerable and open, and I share it with him, and he actually is very patient as well and listens. By the same token, like things that he's encountered in his workplace that he talks to me about, and we pray about it afterwards, and I think that actually helps us connect even more, even though if we have very different workplaces.
So would you say that your faith draws you together in a special way?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's kind of you have to always when you go to, because as we were talking about last a few days ago about front lines.
Yes.
Front lines would be the places where you start, where you spend the most time in. Of course, the number one front line would be at home, my husband, but then you also have your front line at work, and what influences you and how you do your job is actually spiritual, in the sense that you always have to bring God into it, because it's only Him who can.
Well, actually, I would say that it's an interesting concept that you have, that your first front line is at home, because you're actually in general going to spend 8-9 hours of your day in your workplace. And then a lot of the time that you spend at home is actually going to be sleeping. So you are actually going to be spending less aware time in the home than you are at work.
I suppose. Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? So in actual fact, your work time is going to have a wider impact But I think it needs to be underpinned, if you will, by what happens in the home.
Into the darkness you shine. Out of the ashes you rise. There's no one like you.
Whilst listening to David and Ela demonstrate what the love of Christ does in their home, there's a question that comes to me. Who wouldn't want that? I hope with all my heart you do, and that's the reason why we make these films. Next week we will be concluding the video series that began all the way back in 2015. You can access any of them on our YouTube channel. God bless and bye for now.